Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts.
In this video, I'll be looking at the Iron Fist 50th anniversary special. Okay, so at the moment, I do not buy many Marvel books. Pretty much the only thing I'm consistently buying is the Epic collections to get the entire run of X-Men, Spider-Man, and Avengers, and then maybe a smattering of other things as well, Daredevil and Hulk and all this kind of stuff as well. Um, but actual monthly Marvel titles, there's nothing really I'm interested in at the minute. But then they announced an Iron Fist 50th anniversary. I love Iron Fist. I am a big fan of the original Iron Fist, Power Man Iron Fist stuff. Um, I have the Epics and Luke Cage, Power Man, fantastic. Iron Fist, great. Power Man, Iron Fist, brilliant. Um, so let's give this a shot, see what it's like, I thought. So first of all, cover-wise, we've got an Alan Davis cover, which is, again, brilliant. Love Alan Davis. We had a Kevin Eastman cover, which again was pretty decent as well, and I think there's a few others and all, but Alan Davis won out at the end of it. Now, this is kind of crappy in respect that I would have done it a different way. There is stuff in here that is interesting, and then there's stuff in here which seems to be just filler to make up an issue to be a special size. So start off with Chris Claremont doing this story about Iron Fist basically practicing, and it looked reminiscing back to his original encounter with Sabretooth. And he's apparently fighting somebody. Because he's got the blindfold on, we don't actually know who he's actually fighting. It turns out he's fighting Wolverine. Um, First things first. Well, I've got no idea why Wolverine's wearing that costume. I didn't think that was his current costume. As far as I'm aware, that is the costume that X-23 was wearing at one point, or even Dagon, whatever he's called. Why he's wearing this, I don't know. And it took me a little while to figure out it's actually Wolverine, because oddly enough, Iron Fist for the entire time I was thinking this is literally calling him the Wolverine, and it's like, right, did he not know who he is? This is really weird. Um, Basically, you know, he's kind of getting taught from him. Wolverine don't say much of anything, and he's kind of like you get a bit, reminiscent about his past and his training and all this kind of stuff as well. And you see about his iron, how his Iron Fist works and his, kind of senses and all this kind of stuff. And it turns out he can beat Wolverine, but he does say he's Logan, so he obviously knows he's Logan. So I don't know why he keeps calling him the Wolverine. He thought he'd just call him, like Logan it, that time or whatever. It's just such a weird way of announcing the character's fighting. Anyway, so that's it. That's it. That story. That's the story. He's having a bit of a fight. Okay, so next up we've got the story with Iron Fisticuffs, which has got Hay, which is the child Iron Fist, I believe, from Carrie Andrews' series, and the new guy, which I don't know his name, which is Alyssa Wong's miniseries, I think they did. I didn't read that one. I did read the Carrie Andrews one. To be honest, if it didn't have Danny in it, I wasn't interested in Iron Fist. Iron Fist is Danny, in my opinion, and keep replacing his characters again with other people, or again, we could kind of get into Spider-Verse thing now, where we've got 3 Iron Fists running around at the same time. Crazy. Anyway, basically they're fighting Shocker. Um, all in all, it ain't too bad. Um, they kind of basically Shocker kind of just basically denigrates them and basically says, you're nothing, individually. So at the end of the storyline, it turns out they kind of they team up to basically smash the crap out of Shocker, and it's kind of like basically just belittling them and they kind of telling them they're not really the real Iron Fist and all this kind of stuff as well. And it's like, okay, this seems to be a setup for either a mini series or something else going on where they're going to team up as being um, continuing to fight. I didn't know if this was in the Alyssa Wong series or not. I'm not too sure. So yeah, that's that story. Not too bad. There's no real um, kind of reason for why they're fighting Shocker, but that is revealed a little bit later on, and this is kind of why I think it should just been one continuous story where that had been like a little bit, but at the minute, yeah, not great. Okay, so this is the one that I think is probably the most filler of the stories in here. Um, Iron Fist invites the Daughters of the Dragon across to a uh, a meeting, which they think it says years ago. It seems to be like there's might be a fight. Oh no, it's a community thing, and we're all getting together and having basketball and all this kind of stuff. And then some kids turn up and they're really really tough kids, and then they see the superheroes, and instead of backing down immediately and running away because it's bloody Iron Fist, they just have a bit of a go at them and all this kind of stuff. And then, artwork wise, I quite like the artwork style. I don't like it for Iron Fist very much, but I like the artwork style. This is just filler. This is just nonsense. There's nothing, no action in this. There's no character development in it. It's just like, it's again another kind of a slice of life storyline kind of stuff, which to me, pointless. Doesn't even contribute to the main overarching story. Then we get a Hero for Hire advert, which they obviously would have done back in the day, which is a one-page thing, which again, meh, waste. And then we've got Happy Birthday Danny, which again, this is kind of like the key of the story, where they're basically reminiscing about that kind of like all the issues of Mortal Iron Fist, Power Man Iron Fist, and kind of just mentioning all the bad guys that won't go through. And then we have an encounter with Power Man and Iron Fist and Razor Fist. And it turns out the Razor Fist fired Shocker to basically get rid of the other Iron Fists, which again ties this story together. But why this isn't one big story, I don't know, without them crappy filler bits inside. And then we get the situation where they're having a bit of a fight, and he's got an artery, he's been nicked by by his Razor Fist, and it turns out Iron Fist is dead at the end of it. It's gone, dead. Flat page, dead. Brilliant. Okay, so you've just killed Iron Fist off in the 50th anniversary. Fantastic. Then we get a little bit here where we're going about long live Danny Rand, long live Danny Rand. Danny Rand's gone now. He's gone. I just find this absolutely ridiculous. Why you would kill him off in the 50th anniversary, and not in a kind of not in a kind of this should be kind of been an epic story going through these entire issues, but it's not. There is a bit of a twist in this one though. So the twist being is that Iron Fist isn't actually dead. He erupts from his grave. Apparently dead enough to be buried, but he erupts from his grave. Of course, you don't actually know that unless you use the QR code at the back of the book. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely bloody ridiculous. I was like, oh, he's dead. Okay, that's no good. And I was flipping through the book, and I would have missed it if it hadn't been that I saw this Deathlock anniversary thing, and then thought, oh, what's the next page? So he's coming back. What was the point of the story? I don't get this. What's the point of killing him off and bringing him back again? Give us filler, two crappy filler stories for a special, and then kill him off, bring him back again, and then hiding all that behind a QR code. Absolutely bloody ridiculous. So my opinion, if you want to read Iron Fist, go and read the Immortal Iron Fist and the Immortal Weapon stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Probably the better modern stuff. Go and read the classic stuff. Avoid this one. Won't bother. He's going to come back. What's the waste of time? I will be getting the Deathlock 50th anniversary as well. I've not learnt my lesson apparently, because I absolutely love Deathlock. So we'll see if they pull the same one on that one and all. But yeah, this again, I was very, very disappointed with this. I was hoping for one continuous story. All I got was crappy mini stuff. And even though it's like a big fat annual, it's barely bigger than the normal comic book. So why you felt the need to have 4 stories, 5 stories, just to do one, that don't make sense to me at all. Anyway, that's pretty much all I can say about this one. So thanks so much. Actually, no, it's not all the same. They didn't even have the Randall Doodah, the one from Mortal one, the ancient Iron Fist from the kind of the 30s and 40s. That one was brilliant. Immortal Iron Fist with all the stories of him was fantastic. Whereas could have had a story of him if you wanted to, if you wanted to bring Iron Fist into it, but they didn't. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks very much for listening to me, and hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Bye bye.